Hi there, you're listening to the Paralegals on Fire podcast show where you'll be getting tips and actionable strategies that you can use right now to fast track your paralegal career. I'm your host, Ann Pearson, former paralegal and paralegal manager who left big law in the concrete jungle to start my own company, the Paralegal Boot Camp, where we give online courses that help paralegals make more money, increase their job security, and cut out the learning curve. All right, let's jump right into today's episode. Pitfall number 5. I saved the best for last. Or I should say, I saved the one that to me is the most important. It's the biggest pitfall I see, and it's tragic. And that is quit the profession because of one bad ... fill in the blank. Quit the profession because of one bad attorney. Quit the profession because of one bad firm or one bad practice area. Look, I've had so many paralegals on this podcast, and the one thing that I hear most often during our inspiration kind of episodes and interviews was how they're currently in the paralegal job of their dreams, but they had to kiss some frogs first. It wasn't like that right out of school. It wasn't immediate. In fact, I think I'm going to do a full podcast episode on this topic soon because I do think it's that tragic. Look, there are some crappy paralegal jobs out there. I've read some of this stuff on these social media sites, and the stuff that these paralegals have to put up with on a daily basis is just horrendous. And I can see how it could happen, how you could just say, that's it. I am not cut out to be a paralegal. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't like it. But I'm here to tell you it doesn't have to be that way. Not all firms are like that. It's not like that at every firm. Sure, attorneys are notorious for having big egos and being difficult to work for. I'm not saying that it was a walk in the park with every attorney I ever worked for, but I am here to tell you not every attorney is as bad as the one that you're dealing with if you're on the fence about maybe wanting to quit the profession. Look, you've paid a lot of money and put in a lot of time to get that paralegal certificate. That's no small feat. Don't give up on all of that just because of one bad attorney or one bad firm or one bad practice area. Ask yourself, is it the type of work? And if you say, no, Ann, it's the attorney, right? Okay. Well, so if you like the actual physical work that you're doing, the types of cases that you're working on or transactions that you're closing, but you just don't like the attorney that you work for, then if you're at a big enough firm, maybe you could switch to another team. Or is it that you're working 12-hour days and weekends and have too much stress? Maybe it's the practice area that you're in. Or maybe it's because that particular attorney stresses people out. I think the last I checked, there were somewhere around, was it 1 million attorneys in the U.S.? Maybe it's even more. Maybe 1 million law firms. Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, you've got so many options. So many options. You know, I did an episode on alternative paralegal careers, just different ways or things that you could do with your paralegal certificate. Most of those, though, were pretty much requiring you to have had some level of experience and acquired some paralegal skills throughout the years. And so, what if you could just switch to another firm? And I know that's a big decision to make, but look, if you are miserable and stressed out to the point where you're considering whether or not you might want to quit the paralegal profession, just give it a try and switch firms or switch practice areas or dump the attorney. All right, so like I said when we started this series, I am going to do a bonus episode tomorrow because it's something I thought of after I already outlined the 5 pitfalls. So you're going to get a bonus 6th pitfall tomorrow. All right, that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's show, hit the subscribe button in whatever platform you're listening. And please take a quick minute and leave a review of the podcast and share this episode with just one colleague or friend who you think would benefit from what we discussed today. Share the knowledge and the entire paralegal profession elevates. See you next week. Bye for now.